Hi, friends and family of St. Paul. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Advent Devotional Recap. I'm sitting here in my office on a very, very cold Friday morning. I mean, seriously, the wind chill is like, -2 degrees or something like that? At least that's what it feels like. I do hope you enjoyed the Advent devotionals that I came up with, that I was writing out. To give you a brief summary, I chose Revelation chapter 22, verses 4 through 5, and John chapter 8, verse 12. I chose those verses because I think walking in light and being in light is encapsulated in both of those verses. Right? In Revelation chapter 22, we get what light brings to us. In walking in light, we have fellowship with Christ. We are marked as His. We are owned by Him. He is ours and we are His. His name is on our forehead. And that's super encouraging because that reminds us that we are owned. We are possessed by someone regardless of how hectic or chaotic this world is. We are His. We are owned. We have this bedrock that we can come back to and rest in no matter how hectic or crazy or chaotic the world gets. And the fact that His name is on my forehead means that I'm not alone. That if it's on a place that I cannot see, that there must be people around me who can see it more clearly than I can. There must be people around me who can embrace eternity with me. That eternity is not just a continuation of a boring existence, but rather it is this culmination of relationship extended for infinity. And I chose John chapter 8, verse 12, because I love that verse. Whoever follows after me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. I mean, think about that for a second. What is it to walk in light? Well, for me, I think walking in light looks like being authentic and vulnerable. Because if I am in light, then I am exposed. I am accessible. You can see me and you can get to me. I can be approached. And there's something frightening in that, but there's also something freeing in that. Frightening because if I am a fraud, it will inevitably be exposed. What is done in the dark will be brought to the light. But it's freeing because if I have no inclination toward pretending, if I am not putting on a persona or a mask, if I am not faking anything, then what you see is what you get. If that is true, then being in light frees me from needing to perform. It frees me from having to worry about people's perception of me. And if I take this in combination with Revelation 22, if I am His, if I am owned by Him, and if I am in light as He is in the light, then what people think of me ceases to matter. Because it is ultimately what He thinks of me that is the most important. And He has called me His. He has stamped me as being His, as belonging to Him. And being in light frees me to actually live that way. Being in light frees me from caring what other people think about me. It frees me from having to worry about whether or not everyone approves of me because I am approved of by God. This frees me to live. This frees us to live unconcerned with how we are received or how we are perceived. And I think there's such a freedom in that. So would you join me in prayer? Father, would you help us to walk in light as you are in light?